Everyone. I hope you all can hear me. If you can hear me, let me get your comments on the chat section so we could get started. Apologies for joining in late. I was pretty occupied with something. I didn't really realize that it was past time. So sorry for joining in late. Heads up for today's class is going to be a completely practical class, similar to what we had last week, but this time we'll be using the colors we've been able to come up with to actually create different UIs and see how, more in-depth look into how to use the colors we've been able to come together with to make delightful experiences. So I'm gonna wait for my Figma page to load up so we could all get started. I believe we have our Figma boards open as well, so we could follow along as we get started for today's class. So thank you very much for waiting. It's really been an honor from the first class. If you've been joining from the first class, I'm happy to have you here today. If it's the first time you're also here, great to also have you around. Thank you very much for coming. Oh yes, so I have my Figma page loaded up, so I'm going to share my screen right now. All right, so quick recap from where we left off on in the last class. We create your color palettes. We use different means of setting up our color. We use the HSB method, that is the hue, saturation, and brightness method to choose a color palette. You also use the HSL, which is hue, saturation, and light. And then using the material designs color picker, the color picker from material design. And yeah, what you're seeing right now is the color palette we were able to create. And we have two applications. I'll be designing a landing page using the first application as an example, while for the other one, I will be designing a mobile application. That way, we are able to see how colors are being used in those different platforms and what is the best way to combine these colors. So yeah, I'm excited for this class. I'm sure you guys are also excited at the same time. So without further ado, let's get started. So once you've created your color palette, I believe the next thing to do is to set up your the guide provided by Figma. I pretty much explained how to go about that in our last class. But for those who were not around for the last class, I'm just going to go through that once more so you guys can see what that looks like. I hope that's fine. So we already have a couple of our primary colors here. Continue to add the other primary color. So you could see what that looks like. Oh yeah, so the recording of the class available. You should find it at the bottom of this page right now. So I'm sure if you scroll down the Light All page that you are at the moment, if you scroll down right underneath About Me, you should find recent class recordings, which of course you can download or watch online, however you choose to do it. All right, so I hope my mic is loud enough because I may be stepping a bit away from it. And if you're picking any noise, let me know. I want to make sure this audio is as clear as possible. Awesome. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, let's quickly see what we can do. I already have my primary colors in. I have the second color as well. So I'm going to register the third color. I need to use copy color code. Click on this button here, the style button. I click on the add button. Then add in the name. It's a primary color, so I'm just going to change that. I saved my style. Go for the next one. Do that. Click on the style button, add a new color, enter in the name, replace the color code, and also for the last, I'll pretty much do the same. Copy this, click on the style button, add. Yep. Paste up. Now that I'm done with the primary, I'll continue with the secondary color. So I'm going to detach this so I can actually, the last time I didn't copy the right color code. So I'm going to correct that now. Come here to edit, replace this, and click on enter. And yeah, it's saved. So I'll do that for the other two. Secondary color, so it goes into the secondary, save that. And then lastly for this. And of course, for my text color as well, this time it's going to be talk chat / text / the color code. Then lastly, for this, and if you would need me, for the autofill, once you start typing, once I type in talk, it basically shows the rest of the basically just shows the rest of the name itself. So I can just quickly make an edit here and replace the color code. So yeah, that's how it works. I hope that's clear. If you need me to zoom into my Figma even more, let me know. So we make sure that everybody's seeing what I'm doing clearly. I'm pretty sure that's not the color code for that. So, okay, I can edit anytime. Yeah, there it goes. For this as well. Success. Place that. That's done. And lastly, for error. So I'm just going to copy this, add it as well. Enter in top charts, change primary to error, and replace the color code. And also for this. And voila, I think we're done. Yeah, so basically that's it for talk chats. We have all our colors prepared for talk chats. So yeah, we have a working color code. So next up is to start designing. So if you we were here with us last week, I did say talk chat is basically a chat application. And what you do, of course, on chat application is you communicate with people. So we're going to be designing a website and most likely a chat screen as well to show what that looks like and how to use colors. So yeah, I did say I would be creating a landing page. I think I would love to also create like a mobile application for TalkChat as well. So we can explore the opportunities we have with the colors we have and see what it look like on mobile. I hope that's fine. So moving forward, I will bring in my desktop screen. I've had a question once before, someone asking me, what is the ideal screen size when you work on desktop? So ladies and gentlemen, the ideal screen size when you're working on desktop is 1440 pixel. It's the most ideal because most of your laptop gadgets are usually peaking at 1440. For anything above that is usually for large screen displays. I do understand that, yes, you have your MacBook Pro there and your MacBook 16 inches, but understand that many laptops are within, laptops are usually within 1440, and the MacBook Pro 14 inches and 16 inches size is just a unique case. You don't usually get those screen sizes most of the time. So keep with 1440 is the safest thing to do. So yeah, I think that was clear enough. All right, so let me get straight to designing our landing page. All right, since I mentioned we're going to be, creating applications. So I'm just quickly going to rush through a few things like the navigation bar. I'm going to quickly create that on the side. So I'll duplicate this guy. I'm going to duplicate this, set the to 100. So anything you see me using here is basically how I design stuff. So just follow through. I'm going to grab this guy since this is going to be my logo. And yeah, I think I want to do this now. I would basically set this navigation bar to my primary color. I would love to reduce this to 32 and bring it in here. Also, I would love to set a default margin so I can keep with that when designing. So set up every column, set it to 12, set the margin to 150, and set space to 40 pixels. So, yep. I have that there, and then I'm going to bring in a button here that says download. Reduce that to 14 pixel. Make it at the center. Now the question is, what color do I want to make my button? Pretty simple. Definitely my secondary color, and it's going to be this. So yeah, so basically that's my secondary color. So I'm going to remove this red line so you can see what. And here it is. Now, of course, I mentioned something about contrast. This is a good opportunity for us to see what this looks like. So I'm going to create 2 copies of the button so you could see what contrast looks like on here. This is 1, this is 2. This is currently holding a white text. So I'm going to set this to the darker version of this, and I'm going to maybe do one more and set that to black instead. So just switch to text. Great. So here's the question. Which of these 3 has the best contrast? Which one can you see easily at a glance? Now, when it comes to testing out colors, this is one good way to do it. The moment a color becomes difficult for you to read through, you know the contrast is poor. And from the look of things, I would definitely go for this one because, yeah, I can see that text easily. Even when I zoom out, I can easily see the text. So rather than white, I will be going for black. Just, discard all this. So I'm going to be using Sharp button as well. So yeah, get comfortable with that. Margin is going to be 20. While this, I'm going to set this to 40. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Bring back my layout grid and align this to the edge. Voila, make sure it's well centered. Then I would add some text too, so about what else can I have there? Let's see. Help me, please. What can I have there? Documentation. Yeah, contact. Thank you. It's pretty, now that I'm thinking about it, it's been a long time I've actually gotten to work on products like this. Over the last 1 year and 3 months, basically what I've been working on has been around AR, VR, which of course is a course I would be taking very soon on Light All. So if you're interested in augmented reality and virtual reality design, I'm going to say you should stick closely to my social media. I would be holding a course on that topic very soon on Light All. So you want to know turn on post notification and watch out for when that happens. So yeah, I have my navigation bar ready. So the next thing is to start designing stuff on the website. So I am pretty certain I want to keep. Okay, so I'm going to do two variants. Yeah, this makes more sense. So I'm going to do a all white variant, and I'm going to do a all purple hero second variant as well. So I'm just going to set this to purple. I'm going to leave this as white. Yeah. So next thing is I want to it's a brief. I want to write something brief on my hero section, and I'm just going to say, the world most secure and fastest chat platform. Set this to about 64 pixel, set it to bold. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to leave this as this. What else? Probably had some interesting icons. Let me download my, okay, yeah, I think my icons, yeah. Icon Lee. Yep. Now I have all my icon packs. So bonus tip, if you have icon packs, you've gone to Figma community, you've downloaded icon packs on your Figma, the easiest way to access them is by coming to the assets panel, click on this library icon, and you should be able to check in as many icon packs as you want to use. The moment you do that, it automatically just adds them here. So that way you don't start copying icons from one file to another. So yeah, so now I can just access as many icon packs as I want. So let's see if I can get that. See what that looks like. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna take in this, increase that to about 40 pixel or 56. Tilt it a bit, give it here. Or no, something like this. Yeah. This is a good one. Set this to about 100. That's just too much. 64. It's that way and give it something on the secondary. Yeah, secondary color. What other child icon can I get? I think this is nice as well. I'm gonna keep this small, so set it to 32. Another color from secondary color. Yeah, that's good. That works. Tilt it a bit as well. And maybe one last one. Get one last one. Yeah, this looks nice. And maybe set that's a 6. Make it real big. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And set that to, yeah, I guess this is good. All right. So the next thing, of course, is we want to see if we can, bring in a mobile UI frame here. I'm just going to try to download a mock-up somewhere on the internet and see if I can get a mock-up that properly fits. So give me a moment. Yeah, I think I was lucky enough to get these. So let's see if I can make this blend to look somewhat like our secondary color. Almost there. Yeah, this is somewhat like our secondary color, so I'm going to keep that. Then I'm going to move around. Let's see if we can get that to work. Awesome. So yeah, so I'll keep that there. I need this guy now. I'm just going to bring him in, align that to the top, position this somewhere here. Yeah, bring in the mobile UI frame. Nope. Here, so something like this. Set it. Yeah, I'm just going to invert that. Make sure it's not covering too much of just a bit of the text is good enough. So like this. Yeah, adjust this a bit, just a bit. Yes, right there. And I'm going to add this circle to the back to send it far back. And I'm going to give it purple. Just, yeah, that purple. Yeah, I think that's it. We're not done, but that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at what we have here. We've not used any color outside of our color scheme. We've not used any color out of the color palettes we designed. And I'm happy to start taking your feedback even from now as regards what you think in the use of color. So yeah, I think we are currently on a good start in terms of where we are right now. I want to reposition this a bit. It seems too low. Yeah, perfect position. Now let's continue. So what to do is add a download from the App Store button or download from the Google Play button. I'm going to copy this. So mind you, if I was working on an actual project, most of my assets would already be components, right? But I'm skipping that now because, of course, this class is for basically for me to explain how to use colors. So maybe if I do certain things that you wouldn't do, apologies for that. Yeah, so let's just continue. So I'm going to have download from Play Store or download from App Store. What's in here? There is Google's way of designing this button. I'm going to try to keep to that pattern, and I think it's about something like this. Yep. And then the Play button. So let me see if I can get this from my icon pack, Google Play. Of course, I can get it from my icon pack. Then I'll bring that in here. Remove the white transparent background. That, and adjust this to the size of the button of the text. And there you go. So let's test another color on this guy. I'm going to try to use white. Let's see if white works. Do I have white? Okay, I don't have white, but I have this. And clearly, ladies and gentlemen, it does not work. So I'm going to see if I can use the darker version, which of course, that comes with a lot of accessibility issues. So I'm not going to use it. I can't choose error or success. So I'm just going to stick with white. So white it is. And there you go. Or let's experiment. So I'm going to see if I can, well, I'm going to experiment. Black works. Black just seems to work. So Yemi, I do not know which icon pack I'm using. I don't know when you joined the class, but I think I have, at the moment, I have over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 icon packs activated right now. Well, so the thing about my icon packs is they all look alike. The ones I choose to use, the ones I love to use, they are similarly designed. So I'm currently using Octicon, Vogue icon, Icon 2. I'm using Clever icon. I'm using iPacks. They are similarly designed. So that way, even if I'm choosing from various icon packs, you definitely wouldn't notice because they have the same design style. So, of course, very important rule: never use never use icons that are different on the same project. You want to make sure that if you're using icons that have sharp edge, all your icon packs must support sharp edge or must be designed with sharp edges. And if you're using curved edge icons, make sure whatever icon packs you're using has the same thing. So here we go. I have download from Play Store. So the next will be download from the App Store. I'm going to be using another another app here. And so just follow me. You could learn a lot from what I'm going to share. So set this to black, 700. Now, I want to make this guy, I'm going to be using the purple. And here is it. So just follow. Then I'll be using stroke as well. And this time, I'll be using a lighter stroke. Yes, something around that. And the color to white. Or at least this. And there you go. Well, looking at it now, do I want to keep this? Do I want to keep this? Ozino, do you want to keep this? No, I don't. I'm just going to revert. So, well, basically, of course, you can do that, but this looks, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm reverting to the previous. I'm reverting to the previous. Yeah, this looks perfect. In my opinion, this looks perfect. So I'm going to select the two, group them together, and make sure it is aligned to the center. And yes, it is aligned to the center. And there you go. We have our landing page, and we've only been able to use, or we've only used colors that are from our from our color palettes. No alien colors. So yeah, that is that. What do you think? Now, next up, we're going to be using a all white background. Now, remember two laws I mentioned, the line at one color at a time. So if you take a look at what we have here, you can definitely see that the purple color is well pronounced, very well pronounced. And at the same time, our secondary color is also very obvious. It is not too much, it's not splashing everywhere, but we can definitely tell. Anyone who comes here can definitely tell what our secondary color is because, yeah, we've been able to use it in a few places. And the color balance is, in my opinion, is well done. There is a proper color balance. We don't have too many colors flying around. Everything looks pretty decent. And yeah, thank you very much, Shiza, for mentioning that. Now, so something else to pay your attention to, when I was looking for my mock-up, I made sure that the mock-up had the same tint. So even your mock-ups, your images must carry the same kind of color identity that matches your color scheme. You don't want to use, I don't want to use a mock-up that has red, and definitely red is not part of it. Now, when I say red, I'm not talking about the error. The error, I mean, from our primary and secondary color, we don't have any form of red. So I'm going to use mockups or images that have a completely different color palette from your chosen color palette. So for the next one, I will be using white. I'll be using white background, and I will still be keeping to my color palette. But this time, let's see what is ideal in a situation where you're using white as the background. So I'm going to copy this here. First and foremost, I'm going to change all my whites to black so that way. So Lawal, I used to, at the moment, I have several Figma community files that I've worked on in the past, but right now I don't, because I think I have enough I have enough access to resources So if I need a color, if I need any assets or mockup, I will just go to the ones I've created past and then just use them again. So yeah. All right, now that we're here, so one thing I would love to call our attention to is the button. This time also, we need to begin to consider a lot. So the reason why we are not using our primary, this call to action here, which is the download button, is because, of course, we can't have purple on purple anymore. But in this case, white is not part of our primary or secondary color. So to pay attention to that information. So the best thing to do in this case is to revert our button back to the button itself, to primary color. So I'm just going to switch this to purple SAP. And at that instant, you realize that black is no more doing well. So you want to change that to white, or at least I'm going to use this because, yeah, we all know that that is very close to white. So yeah, so once that is done, maybe I'm going to change this to purple as well. Let's see what purple looks like. Yeah, pretty decent. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there. And yeah, now let's create our hero section. So not to waste time, I would have loved to use a different approach, but instead I'm just going to copy everything I have here and paste it here, and then just work on the colors instead. So my text is automatically going to be black. Oh, let's see. No, I think I like the purple. Yeah. The font remains what it is. Let's see if I can change guy to that looks so much like perfect. Yeah, I think this is equally this, and change my blacks to whites. And voila, I think that's it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then bring this here and there. Okay, so we have a bias. We don't have enough of the secondary color. So let's see if we can, balance things out. Let me see if I can make one of these. But this time, I won't be using the original version of the primary color. I'll be using the darker version. That way, the contrast will truly stand out. And there you go. And my whites will definitely turn to black. And there you have it. There you go. So yeah, that's it. And both of them looks real good. Yeah, I think this is it. So if you're using whites, of course, you want to make sure that you're using way too many colors. Balancing contrast is always going to be important. Making sure you don't have too many colors flying around is equally important. Your primary color will always remain your dominant color. So you want to put a lot of reference to your primary color, while of course your secondary color should be well represented. We have this icon here, we have this icon here, and of course we have our button there, which of course is optional, but make sure you have your colors well represented. You don't want to have too many colors. Once again, you don't want to have too many of one good color. You just want to create the proper balance. It's usually between 70 20 10 or 60 30 10%. 60% of your dominant color, 30% of your primary or the secondary color, and the other 10% is either your whites, your blacks, or whatever it's going to choose to make it. So yeah, that is it, and I think we are done with that. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to take questions now before moving to the next one. Yeah, I guess that's it. I think I have a question here. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, so yeah, I think that's for Talk Chat. So the next one is for Talk Pay. So we'll be designing two mobile screens. Since it's a payment platform, I would love to work on a mobile dashboard for the first screen, and for the second screen, I'll be working on a which other part of, yeah, let's say a checkout screen. Let's see if I can work on a checkout screen. Now, someone is asking for plugins. I think so far so good. The only plugin I have used is one that I use to remove the background, and it's called Remove BG. So the name of the plugin is Remove BG, basically remove background, and you can visit remove.bg if you want to use the web version, or you go to Figma community to download the plugin, Remove BG. So yeah, let's do talk P. Yeah, midday. So we can assume the white background, the white in this stead is the 60%, right? The point is, I think I'm just going to iterate on the point. You try to understand the point here. The point is the 60% has to be your dominant color. If you had been joining from the first class, I mentioned that you should emphasize one color at a time. So if a color is taking more than 50%, then definitely that is a color you are emphasizing. And at the moment, the most emphasized color on this white background is the white background. The next color that is being emphasized is the purple itself, which is about, what I'm saying, is about 30% of the entire screen. And the last 10% goes to your blacks, your whites. In this case here, you could say your whites, but in this case, definitely that 10% goes to the secondary color. So basically, that's the idea. You must keep the ratio, make sure there's that balance. You don't want to have 50-50 or 10-10-10 in 10 places. That would be ridiculous. So yeah. Now back to talk pay. So we're gonna create our style quickly again. And yeah, let's get started. So I have this, I'm gonna copy this guy. Is that a true? Yeah, that's a true color. Do this, click on here, talk pay / primary / the color code. Do that up. Yeah, click on here, click on that, talk pay. Primary, replace that. Yeah. That's copy. Primary, replace that. And there we go. So mind you, I won't be creating anything else here. I'm just going to be using the primary and secondary, borrowing colors from the ones we previously done. So apologies in advance. I really love this color. I love this secondary color. I don't know how I'm going to use it yet. I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot of opportunities to using it. I love it already. So let's see what that looks like. Copy. This time it's going to be secondary, not primary. And I'm going to be replacing it. So one white. Nice. Secondary, white. And that. Secondary, replace that. And there we go. We're done. So a mobile screen. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, for desktop, the ideal screen size for mobile is the iPhone 11 or Pro or the iPhone X screen size, which is also the same as the iPhone 13 mini. Now, the reason is pretty simple. Most smartphones are usually around that screen size. The iPhone Pro Max is a ridiculously large phone. You don't want to use, not many people use screens as large as that. So just keep the smallest. It's easy to design for the smallest screen and have it expand rather than designing something for the large screen and shrink it. Now that's usually difficult. So yeah, let's go on. Okay, so where do I start from? Do I want to use a white screen or okay, yeah. I think it's pretty simple. I know what to do. So the dashboard first. Yeah, since it's a payment application, we all know you have to see a few things, which includes your account balance. So I'm going to set my margins. My margins are usually, I'm going to set it to 4, set it to 20, not to use 20, so set it to 20, and that's basically it. Make sure this is aligning with the edges. There. And I'm going to set it to my primary color, ASAP. So fill that to the primary color. So I'm going to scroll down to top P, and there you go. Yeah. So we have that. So yeah, I have that. But before we continue, I think I omitted something. I want to quickly, add this user icon, set that to 40 pixel. say hello or Zenwa, reduce that to 16 pixel, white, and what else? What else? Man, it's been long. It's been so long. Set this 20 pixel. Or is that too much? I think it's too much. I'm going to just set it to 12. Better. Set it to 40. Yeah, 40 is perfect. Oh no, 40 is too much. Set it to 20. Yeah, that's it. This time I'll be using rounded corners, so I'm going to set it to 20. And it's perfect. Then I want to show my account balance. So I'll say account balance. I don't want to make it bold. Yeah, regular is good enough. I'm going to set that to as well 20, and then yes, I'm going to show the account balance in USD. So 4,506.21 USD. Increase the size to about 32, make it really, really obvious. Set this to 12 pixel, and I want it auto layout. So basically, just arrange the rest for me. So yeah, is this good enough? I think so. I'm going to hide this guy so we're able to see more stuff. Good. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What else can we have here? Come on, let me see if I can pull up a mobile application from my phone. See what that looks like. Yeah, of course, we're definitely gonna have transaction details. Definitely. Yeah. Now I remember. Notification. A notification bell at the top. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I like this one. There. Align all that. Right? We have these, and then next up is to include our call to action. So I'm just going to bring this guy back. I'm going to add a few squares to represent our call to actions. So make sure this is properly aligned. Reduce when you need to, increase when you have to. Now we have all four. Right now, I'm just going to fill this primary color. Also set the, there we go. I can just take this out, and yeah. So no, I don't need four, I just need two. So I'm taking this to off. Right now, this way I can have a primary and secondary action, right? This way I can have a secondary action. So I'm just going to expand that. Now make these the secondary action, so it's going to have this. And I think here, this is where the challenge begins. This is where we begin to think through the color options we have and see the best way to use them. So now, the question here is this. I've seen many people make this mistake. I've made it too in the past. But this is where we begin to actually face the challenges of how to use colors to create delightful experiences. So right now we have these, but trust me, I would not want to use this same blue. We already have this here. Now, the reason why that is because you don't want to create conflict in the mind of your users. So what is the difference between this guy and this guy? At the moment, nothing, because definitely the color is saying they are the same thing. The way the cards are designed are the same thing. So you don't want to have this guy clickable and this is not clickable, because currently they are just like right above each other. So the best way to create, the best thing to do with the use of colors is to make this look different. It's still button, but with the use of your colors, you're going to remove the amount of emphasis you're placing on this button and this card. You're going to be balancing it with your colors. So what I'm going to do here is do this, select that, click on the lighter version there, and say send money. Now, I think I'm going to be adding one extra color this time around. Let's see if I can make this a primary. Yee, no, that's too harsh. That's too harsh. So send it back to this, send my white to the dark version of the blue. Good. So what I need to do is I'm good now at this point in time, I'm going to be adding one extra color to the primary colors. And the reason for that is I want to use a pastel background for that button. So I'm just going to, do this. Remember what we did yesterday? So I'm going to go here. This is currently at 75. So I want something around 90. Yeah, I want to use around 90. So let me test what that looks like. Let me see if I can quickly save this to talk. A primary. Oh no. Oh yeah. I don't think I need to do that. So what I can easily do, after seeing the use of this, I'm pretty sure I won't be using this guy in many other cases. So the best thing for me to do is just go there, edit it from here, set it from 75 to 90, and see what that looks like. And yeah, for me it looks really good. Yeah, so that's it. This looks really good. Now, this is one alternative. Now, the second alternative is to, instead of doing for the button, you could just do for this card. So I'm going to copy all these. I'm going to quickly copy it here, and I'm going to replace this. I'm going to set this background to the light, and then set all the whites to the dark blue, and see what that looks like. Is it enough? I need you to give your comments. I'll set this back to the original color, the original blue, and set the dark blue to white. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to, so basically this is an A/B situation. I want to give your feedback. Which one is best, screen A or screen B? In my own opinion, I will go for either of the two. But in this case, the main goal here is using colors that you have already on your color palette to create delightful experiences that do not cause conflict to your users, experiences that basically make your design stand out. Now, as I said again, both cases are completely usable. You can use the two, but I just want to get your opinions on which one you think is most preferable. In my own opinion, I would go for, I don't want to influence anything. So let me just get your feedbacks. Yeah, awesome. Keep training your feedback. It's very much appreciated. So while that is going on, I'm going to continue with with the second button. I have send money. Then I have, what else can you do? What can you do? You have send money. Then fund wallet, fund account or something. And I'll basically changing, let's experiment. I would first of all change that to that and change my black to white. Let's see what that looks like. Or better still, so I'm going to create another instance here. So copy, replace. That will be this, and this will be that. Oh, no, that will never work. So I'm going to use black instead. Yeah, so there you have it. 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 All right. So having listened to everyone, I'm going to talk a bit about the norm and how the norm would help us solve the problem here. So there are emphasis. Now, whenever you are emphasizing UI or you want to define hierarchy, as it is commonly said, there are three ways to go about it. The first one is by colors. You use colors to define hierarchy, right? When you're using high contrast colors, you're basically telling your users to pay attention to this item because it's like the important part of the UI. So you use high contrast for important part of your UI. Meaning the less important part, you'll definitely be using the low contrast options. And the second thing you want to use is the size. You use size to define hierarchy. And the last thing is definitely the weight. So looking at this UI, the question is, what is most important for the user? Is the call to action buttons more important than the account balance, or is the account balance more important than the call to action buttons? So basically, that's the question you want to ask, right? And from my experience working on fintech products, more than ever, everybody wants to see their account balance before sending money. That is just the truth. Yeah, nobody finds joy by sending money. Nobody's happy sending their money away. So everybody is more concerned about what is my account balance saying. So whenever you're defining hierarchy, when it comes to a fintech product, the most important part of that screen is the account balance. So in that situation, you want to make sure that the highest emphasis is placed on that part of your UI. And because of that, I will be going for screen A as my most preferred option. Right? I'll be going for screen A as my most preferred option. But nonetheless, if there are other means you can apply to make sense between call to action and emphasis, you are supposed to employ that. The main goal of this course is to help you understand how colors are very vital and how to make your decisions by using very simple colors to create delightful, emphasis on delightful experiences that do not confuse your users, experiences that simply guide your users to taking the kind of actions you want them to take, and experiences that sets the mood for a pleasant mobile experience or web experience for your users. So that's on that. Now, let me just rush through the rest of the UI. I'm pretty sure the most important part has been settled, but there's one more I would love to settle, and that is using icons on your UI, using pastel colors as well on your UI. So I'm going to go for more options instead of transaction details. I'm just going to go for more options. And I use 20, that should be 20, not 28. Apologies there. It should be 20, not 28. So 1, 2. Yeah. So more options, that should be about 40 pixels away. And I'm going to create a card here. I'm going to create a card there. I'm going to set this to 20 as well. 20. I'm using 20 here, right? Yeah, 20. I think I need to also organize a class on spacing, how to use white spaces. I've seen a lot of people mess up their white spaces. So maybe I'm just going to shift the AR class ahead and do another master class on spacing. Yeah, with the proper, if you have proper knowledge to use spaces, like how to space your UI, trust me, even the most effortless attempts to create UI will look good. Like, I'm pretty sure you can see what I have here. It's totally effortless. All right, so yeah, 20 pixels. And right now, this is, it's, yeah, so this is the attention. So I'm going to use our secondary color in this instance. I want to create that balance, and I think we've not, used the secondary color well enough. So I'm going to use this guy. I'm going to bring an icon into this card here. I want to use, so what can I talk about? What can this card be about? Savings. Let's see. It's a payment application, right? So do you want to have savings? Nope, you don't want to have savings in the payment application. So, yeah, let's see. Just going to bring a random application. So, yeah, so there you go. And I'm going to say, what can I talk about? What can I talk about? Okay, safest way to make transactions. Yeah, so man, I need to go back to designing products that are not ARVR. All right, there. 24 is perfect. This is going to be 20. And once that is done, I will click on auto layout, and that did not work. So why isn't it working? Is this a frame? It's not. It's a rectangle. My bad. So I'm left with no choice. I have to manually do this. Very unfortunate. 3. So 1, 2, 3, and there you go. This is 20. Yeah. And I'm going to use the dark. Maybe not. Maybe not. Just going to revert to black. Sorry. Maybe not. It's too light. Let's see if we can make this guy dark. If we can get this guy to be dark enough, let's see what it will look like. So I'm just going to go edit that from here. And it's currently at 67, so I'm going to drop it to 47. Now that looks real good. That looks real good. I am contented. It looks real good. So I'm just going to leave it like that. The contrast is perfect. It looks real good here, and it does look good enough here, right? Awesome. So now what do? We're going to bring this guy out a bit, and I'm going to create a card here. So the purpose of all this is basically to show you that whenever you're using pastel colors, there is a really cool way to make your icons look really good. And all you need to do is create a layer behind your icon. Now, that layer shouldn't be the main background, but something just a bit different. So I'm going to go back to using that, that one. Set this to 12. Make sure this is a square. 6. Balance that spacing, so I'm going to have 14 as well. Yeah, and then bring my icon in here, send it to the front, and set this to white. Now, the icon now has enough emphasis. There's just a lot of emphasis on that icon right now. It's simple, really simple. It's basically just to have emphasis, right? Makes things stand out a bit. So I'm going to reduce that so I can have, I see there's a slight between the spacing here and here. So the purpose of that is, let's see if I can just close in that space. Closing that space a bit. Let's see if I can set this to 8. And there, yeah, that looks better. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Something else you can add to this is patterns. But before I do that, I'm going to set this. I'm going to create a frame round about this, and then I'm going to draw random circles in there. Make sure your frame is. Make sure you clip that, clip content. That way, this guy isn't flying around. I'm going to throw this to the corner like this, and I'm going to give it. Let's see there. No, that isn't working, and because of that, so I think you've noticed a point will come where you will need to start creating more colors into your color scheme, or more color into your color palette. But this time you're not creating anything outside of the original colors. So what I want to do is create a light or dark version of this original color without going way too far. So I'm going to, quickly do this. Click here, come here. This is currently 87, so I want to set it to 77, right? And yeah, definitely I'm going to add that to my color scheme. Since I'm already using it, I'm going to add it to my color scheme. So it's going to be talk A, secondary, and there you go. So I'm going to create this, touch on the circle again, and click on there. So there you have it. Well, it's not the best. It's not the best. So I'm going to make some changes as well. So I'm going to go back to my palette, edit this, and 85, 80, making this edit until it looks perfect. 83, perfect. 83 is perfect. So take again, position it somewhere else, maybe reduce it, and there you go. I have a perfect card. I have a perfect card. So I don't know who's noticing. You can see this edge is sharp, and the reason why that's because of this circle. The easy way to solve that problem is just to give your frame the same border radius as higher UI. Is that yes? And there you go. It works easy. So I can duplicate this and use the primary color for here. So that's easy. What's the primary color? That is this. Nope, my bad. Um, there. Oh no. Yep. I would have to create another one for blue as well. So before that, let's do about this one. Yeah, that's too much. So yeah, you already know what to do. Click this guy. No, click on this one. This is currently on 90, so we want to go something around 85, I guess. And we want to add that to stock pay, secondary, primary. And yeah, so let's make the change quickly. And yeah, there you have it. So yeah, I think that's it. So, and so on and so forth. Yeah, the next thing to add is definitely like your transaction details. That really is just going to be all blacks. And maybe, yeah, I think I can do one card. One card is just good enough, for two cards, and make use of our error and success and see what that looks like. Transaction history. And it's going to be a quick one. It's going to be a quick one. I want to make sure this is 20. Since I've been using 20 all through, just going to keep that to 20 as well. I'm going to bring in a card, a square rather, right there. Set this to 56, 56 there. Set this to 12 or 20 since I've been using 20. What transaction?